Hey mom, can you help me shower now? I asked this to my mom at 23 years old. It was something I never thought I would have to do. I'd become this independent person. Just the year prior, I'd moved to New York City knowing no one, having lived in a suburb in Massachusetts my whole life. Like the only time I can imagine myself asking her for help with, showers as a toddler, going in for tubby time, and all the rubber duckies around me. Maybe you parents can remind yourselves of doing that with your kids. And I remember one time, I know I was a toddler, but I remember like little wisps of hair coming out of my head, and she had soap in it, and she didn't want the soap to get in my eyes as she was pouring the water over my head, so she delicately placed a hand in front of my eyes as she poured the water over so the soap wouldn't sting my eyes. And well, at 23, she wasn't protecting my eyes from soap anymore. She was taking care of me in other tender ways. You see, I had an accident at 23 years old. I was cooking on my gas stove in my apartment in New York City, and I had a flowy shirt on. I reached above my gas stove to grab something out of the microwave, and my shirt caught the flame below. I ended up getting third-degree burns around more than 30% of my body. When I got out of the hospital, I said to continue my recovery at my home in Massachusetts. And most of my wounds were healed, but I had some open wounds on my back, so my mom had to take those bandages off my back before I got into the shower. And then when I got out of the shower, she had to put this, special cream on and redo it with the bandages and all that. And so we're in the shower now after I asked her a little timidly to come. It's a little weird for me, but she comes in the shower and I try to set a good mood. Where I'm like, Mom, can you put on Taylor Swift or 070 Shake, two of my favorite artists at the time, where I'm I know that my mood is gonna be lifted a little bit. She's like, sure. So the music starts playing and I'm turn the water on, and I'm timidly stepping into the shower because I'm kind of doing some of those in and out moves. I know I have to get my whole body wet, but I don't want to feel the stinging of the wounds on my back. So I start singing the music, and she's on the other side of the curtain singing along with me, and it kind of goes on for 5 or 10 minutes singing, and then I'm these intervals of bleeding as the water directly hits the wound on my back. And after 10 or so minutes, probably a little louder than I need to say, given she's right outside the curtain, but I'm like, Mom, you got the towel ready? And she's like, yeah, Femi, I got you. And my mom had taken to heating this towel safely above our radiator, getting a little warm for me. And I step out of the shower, and my body is visibly shaking because the new skin that I have took a while to get acclimated to the temperatures, and she just puts the towel around me and rubs it like that, just trying to give me any comfort she can. And with the music start playing, still playing, we keep dancing, and there's this huge mirror in my bathroom, and I'm just looking at myself dancing, trying to get used to this new body I'm in. And my mom is still putting on this ointment on my back, and part of the process in our shower time is her putting this just lotion on my back because my skin's super itchy and want to keep it moist and healing. And most of the time, I just continue trying to dance as she's putting on the lotion, making it a good time. But one time, I just break down crying, kind of feeling the gravity of everything that happened to me. Her putting on the lotion, I'm just Mom, I'm gonna have to put on lotion like this for the rest of my life. I know it might sound silly, but it's not something that I did before. It's not something that I thought of. And she's just I know, Emily, it sucks. Slowly, gradually, I stopped needing my mom's help as much, and I moved back to my apartment in Harlem. But I continued that lotion routine every morning and every night. The first year after my accident, I oftentimes looked at myself in the mirror while I was doing it still, and I got to know my scars. Every one of them, I saw them evolving as I was emerging into this new body. And I went back home last week to celebrate Mother's Day early because, I had to be at this event today. But we got together, and I was just reminiscing with my mom on this time we had together. And I was like, Mom, I know it was super painful, but I really loved those moments we had together. And she just gave me a hug in that moment, and I took a bus back to New York City from Massachusetts on Monday, and I opened my phone and I checked my email, and I had an email from my mom. And I'm going to read a little bit of it. It's just a couple of paragraphs because I think it summarizes best her feelings about our time together after I got out of the hospital. Emily, it's been 4.5 years since your accident. And although time has passed, the memories of that time are still vivid in my heart and mind. I don't look back at it with sadness, as much with deep gratitude for your resilience, for our time together, and for the quiet gifts that emerged from such a painful time. Helping you shower, clean your wounds, drive you to rehab, those weren't just acts of care. They were sacred moments, intimate, tender. A kind of closeness that words don't easily capture. I felt the fierce love of a mother who would do anything to ease your pain, but also the quiet joy of simply being near you, supporting you in a way that felt so deeply human and true. Motherhood, I've come to learn, is one long, beautiful journey of letting go. From the moment you were born, you've been growing into your own person, stronger, wiser, more independent with each year passing. And I've done my best to step back little by little, always there if you reach for me, always cheering you along on the sidelines. The brief time after you came home gave me a reminder of what it meant to be a mother of a child who needed me. I had to let you go all over again. As I read that, I just teared up on the bus, random stranger next to me, but I didn't care, and I don't know, I couldn't agree more with my mom. I think sometimes the most beautiful things, like feeling this close intimacy with my mother, was something that came from one of the most painful times in my life. And I just want to say, I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.